great. So what I'm going to talk about quick is just the idea of sort of how to create more accompaniment by using bass lines and chords and expanding out, I guess, your chords so that you can create a fuller sound on the guitar while at the same time sounding emptier and creating more space. So the idea, I guess, and I sort of talk about this a lot, is that we end up as guitar players, let's take an A7 chord for example, of learning this, and it's a very muddy chord and it doesn't have much clarity. It is kind of a big sound, but what I've gravitated towards as a musician is actually simplifying things. So generally when I play an A7 chord, even in a band now, I'll play even just this. So it's just essentially the 7th and the 3rd together, and that's basically, you know, all the tones you need to create an A7. And then my theory is that there's a bass player somewhere actually playing the A anyway, so that completes our chord. So essentially what I'll do is, if I've got a kind of sort of a little groove in A, that's the only kind of shape I need. So I've got my A there, I've got an open A. I can then also look at the idea of, let's say, like a simple bass line, like a 1 to 5 sort of thing. And I can, well, let's go a semi-Latin feel, quasi-Latin, because I probably don't know the exact Latin feels. Apologies to people that do. But it's, so something simple would be like, and then I kind of break it up. I've got room then to move my actual fingers around to then create maybe even a more complex sort of bass line. So something like, and you can kind of expand upon with that sort of idea and use it in kind of a whole lot of stylistic contexts. So if you're talking sort of something a little bit more funky, it'd be something along the lines of this. If you're talking jazz and a walking bass line, you've then got the room to move. So that's all using that same chord voicing of just the 7th and the 3rd. Obviously I'm switching what fingers I actually use to reach that when I'm changing bass lines, but it's that kind of idea of that you can actually simplify everything you play on the guitar and then create something more out of it by using space. So, you know, that's with a basic 7th chord. Obviously things like 9ths you can then expand upon, 13ths, but it's kind of getting, I always kind of break my guitar up into sort of 2 different areas of like the whole, you know, I've got my bass frequencies and my treble frequencies, and I'm kind of always thinking about it almost, you know, to put it simply, that my E and A strings are my bass strings and the rest are kind of my melody sort of strings. I'll obviously cross over back and forth, but you know, the basic start is that sort of idea. So, and you know, it's kind of just simplifying actually what you play to create a bigger sound and a more, especially rhythmically interesting sound, and you know, using fingerstyle techniques to do that.